Well, today we are going to talk about something that we feel like it's really important, and I'm calling it the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, and not more than the truth. Does that sound good?
That sounds great.
Okay. We're talking about why it's very important to be honest when you are applying for insurance, when you are turning in a claim, and just some examples of how that has caused some problems for some of our clients and prospects.
And not just our clients, but just any client.
Any client, yeah.
Anybody will have these problems if they don't, tell the truth?
Tell the truth, yeah.
So it's not just ours, it's anybody.
Anybody, yeah. So in personal lines, I remember, and I'm sure Lanette does too, where when somebody came in and applied for insurance and we wrote their application down on a piece of paper and faxed it
years ago,
we would ask them if they had any tickets or accidents.
Yes.
And then it would take how long for the company to find out back then?
Back then, a week
or two. And they'd be like, oh, well, he had, a DWI, or he has 6 speeding tickets or whatever, So then that person would be unhappy.
But it's not their own fault.
Yeah.
If they had been honest to begin with, we could have accurately quoted. If you don't tell us the information up front, then our quote's going to look good, but it's not because your information was incorrect.
So they're either going to increase your rates, or even worse, they're going to cancel the policy.
Oh, that's even worse. What happens when you get canceled?
Well, then you have to go find other insurance. And they're going to ask, well, why were you just with this company for 20 days? Well.
and this time you don't have to say, well, I didn't pay my bill.
Yeah.
I lied.
Yeah.
Or omitted information.
Yeah. And so that's the first thing I think of is back with the old driving record thing. Nowadays, it takes us 45 seconds to find out.
Pretty much.
But it still helps if you just tell us, because the insurance company is going to find out.
They're going to find out. And if you don't tell us the truth and, asked you and I don't have any accidents and tickets, comes up, there's an exit on there. Well, it shows at fault on what they call a CLUE report, which is a claim loss history, but it wasn't an at fault. They rear-ended you 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So your premium's not going to be as high with a non-fault as it would be as an at-fault. So if you had just told us, I was rear-ended, it was the other party's fault, we could have put that in the notes, let the underwriter know, and your premium's not going to be as high.
Because we are on the client side.
Exactly.
I mean, we represent the client and the insurance company. But when you come or you call Bryan Insurance, we want to get you the best deal, and we are on your side.
Right, and not only that, I mean, it also saves us time as well. Because let's say if you came to us and said, hi, I have 3 accidents. Well, okay, so we automatically know not to put you with company A, B, or C. We need to go to D, E, F, and maybe even X. But it saves us time, it saves you time, it saves everyone time, and saving time also saves money.
And then, so let's talk about, that's the auto, and there's other things, but they can pull up, the vehicle identification number, which we call the VIN, and they can tell how much you paid for it and all that stuff. So just tell us the truth so we can get you the right rate. Now on the property side, that's a little different, but still.
It is different, but you still, if you know you've had a claim, let us know whether it's hail damage or water damage or a theft. People have personal items, golf clubs, golf sets, their rings. Leave your ring somewhere, miscellaneous disappearance. They're things that just go out of our mind, but there's still a claim within those years that the company asks, usually 3 to 5 years.
And especially if you had damage that you didn't repair, let us know that.
Exactly.
Because that, unfortunately, depending on what kind of damage, will knock you out of the preferred companies, but at least we'll know that, and it'll save you a headache later on, because the insurance companies are going to send out an inspector most of the time to look at your property after we bond it.
They're going to send an inspector?
Yes, they are.
So what if you forget to tell us about something like a dog or a swimming pool or a trampoline? What could that cause?
It could cause problems.
hit cancellations, or we'd have to rewrite. A lot of companies won't accept pools that are unfenced, trampolines that are unfenced. There's a lot of the companies still have their vicious dog list. I disagree because I have one of the Rottweilers, but you know, most of animals are gonna lick you to death. But if you have that pit bull, if you have that German Shepherd or Rottweiler, and they have a biting history, that's where the problem comes in. So.
Sure. And then let's talk about the commercial side of things.
Oh, that's where I'm familiar.
And the things that we've talked about are, it's the same thing there. You may not know as the employer about your employee's driving record. That's possible.
That's true. And a lot of them do not. And it's really tough to even get some of those.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's when you're trying to run those clues and trying to figure out all of them, you might even find out later about one employee that is, you know, even the employer himself didn't even know about.
Right.
So there's things that can always come up later, but it's best to let us know up front. Like, you know, make sure you get their driver's license, make sure you get their birth dates, get it all.
Right. And, you know, depending on the type of account, the type of risk, you as the employer should probably be checking driving records prior to hiring and at least once a year. Which we can get you hooked up with companies that have you show you how to do that legally,
right,
with the correct forms that they need to sign.
Does that also prevent the that knowing the information?
Yeah.
And, you know, is it like HIPAA?
So, yes, they actually I can't remember the name of it right now. It's something Billy Act with insurance privacy was before HIPAA. They got insurance before medical, where I can't tell my client that what their employee has on their driving record. Lanette can't tell husband what his wife has on her driving record. We can say they don't qualify, but we can't. It's illegal for us to say they had a speeding ticket on such and such date. Yeah.
And they're going home and being like, "Hey, honey, why didn't my premium go up by $1,000 this year?" You know, it might cause some problems. It's just best if they just come clean.
Right.
Tell the truth, whether it's to us or the spouse or employer.
I mean, you know, they probably went on that business trip to the, you know, defensive driving class.
Yeah. And then let's talk a little bit about websites and social media.
Yes, that one is very interesting because a lot of times people think, especially in the commercial lines, they will say that they do one thing or they do not do it. They might say, hey, we don't actually dig below 3 feet. We don't actually go past 100 miles. There's stuff like that. Those are those little trigger points where the premium can increase. So they'll kind of omit that. But later on, you find out that they do dig 10-foot ditches, and they also go, you know, all 50 states. Well, I guess 48 states. So those things do get found out. And insurance companies nowadays, these are contracts, and they want to make sure that they're getting the correct premium for the risk that they are signing up for, because it's a contract between the client, which is our client, and the insurance carrier. And they're going to do all the due diligence they possibly can, because they are creating the contract between the two parties. So they're going to look at your websites, they're going to look at your Facebooks, they're going to look up any social media, and if it's a big enough risk, they're going to start digging even further, because they're on the hook if something occurs. Also, if you omit or lie, it could possibly put you with a contract that doesn't fit your needs, which won't necessarily hurt the insurance company's feelings. It will really upset you when you don't have the coverage.
Right. Yes. And you know, I said not more than the truth. And what I was talking about there, and we get it, that, you know, small businesses are scrambling to do what they need to do to stay in business. So they're adding things that they do. They're adding operations. So you may have a website or a Facebook page that says that you do A, B, C, D, E, but you really only do A, B, but you would do C, D, E if somebody hired you for that. And you need to tell the agent that up front, because the insurance company, when they see it on your website, they are like, no, they're manufacturing dynamite. We're not gonna, they're not a pet store. I'm making up stuff, but and so if we can tell them up front, their website says this because they hope to offer that operation. They get enough requests, but they won't do it unless they tell us. If we tell them up front, they believe it more than when they find it and ask us.
Absolutely. And not only that, if you tell them up front, they will actually give you better rates because they feel like they can trust you. Now, if I was like, hey, I build retaining walls for the government, they're going to go, whoa, that's a little scary, but at least you're letting us know. Versus later on, when you're doing lawn care and you build this retaining wall for a government entity, and they find out about it, oh, they're not, the insurance carrier's going to go, oh, what else are they doing? What did they do? What are we on the hook for? They're going to go down the list, and they're going to charge you a lot more money because you're a higher risk. You're an unknown risk.
Right. So, just be honest. And then when you turn in a claim, be honest. I went for a long, long time without any claims, and within the last 2 or 3 months, I've turned an auto, a home, and the motorcycle claim. I have had 3 claims now. The auto and the home were hail damage. That was easy. That happened on the same day. The motorcycle was an accident. That was easy. But don't think, okay, if you have, damage here and damage here from 2 completely different things, and you're thinking, well, I just want to pay one deductible, so I'm just going to say, the insurance adjusters can tell.
They can tell.
Yeah.
And this is their job. This is what they do for a living. I mean, what else? I mean, you got people that are professional cooks. You have people that are professional hairstylists. That everybody has doctors. They know. Adjusters and claims reps. They all know because they go and look at this every single day. And you're not going to pull the eyes out. My favorite story was a hail damage story where the claim adjuster came out there, was looking at it, and after he, determined there was damage and he determined everything, his next request was, do you want me to call the cops now or do you want to just go ahead and drop this? What he saw was a little S in every little hail ding. He took a ping hammer that had an S on it, and everywhere he hit, put the little S.
And let's just say that, just make it clear that was not one of our clients.
No.
It happened. It wasn't one of our clients. And I think for the most part, people are honest. We trust our clients, but we understand insurance is expensive sometimes. Deductibles are high. And you want to try to slip something in, and we understand that, but like Brad said, the claims adjuster, that's their job, and they can tell if that hail damage was from 8 years ago, and then this, and so it's just better just to be honest up front, talk to your agent.
You'll save money over the long run. It's amazing how much you'll save if you're just honest.
Yeah. And
on the same thing of being honest, don't overshare.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, Bradley.
Hey, thank you. But oversharing is like, okay, yes, you start your small business. You want to go with these things. Now, are these plans for this year, next year, 5 years? You need to know what you're doing. But like you said, only tell the truth and nothing but the truth at this moment.
Right. And and keep your agent in the loop if you are thinking about doing something different, something, add a service, or on the personal side, I'm I have a daycare in my house. I'd have
or a massage, anything that you put, hairstylist.
Yeah.
Thank you. If you put that in your home and you're doing a business, especially if it's over $2,000 a year, you need proper coverage for that. You've got to let us know. You've got to be honest about it.
Oh, what about the new thing that's happening? The Etsy stores. Those are...
They're bringing in some money.
Yeah, I've seen some people make 6 figures off those. It's crazy how big it got.
Yeah, that's a business, and there's no way around it. You could say, okay, I sell Avon or whatever. I don't know if they even do that anymore, but I mean, the smaller things. Now it's a business, but an Etsy, like what you're talking about, that is a business. There is no way around it.
There's people that start off very small. What do they do? Like make little crafts and all that. They might do a little knitting. And next thing you know, they're making T-shirts, and before you know it, their garage is a complete, shop.
And so talk to your agent so that you can get the proper coverage. And most of the time, it's not going to cost you that much more money. It depends on what it is. And if you have people there a lot, it could be a lot more expensive. But if it's something that you're doing, it's probably not going to cost you more. But your agent, I don't know about every agent, but we will definitely help you correctly cover to the best of our ability for the best premium that we can get. So that's our topic for today, is just the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, but not more than the truth.
Excellent.
So if you need to talk to somebody, when you call and you tell the truth, here's our contact information.
Well, you can call us at 940-549-2525. Come visit us on the second floor of Ciera Bank Building in Graham, Texas. Visit us online at brianins.com. That's Brian INS, Brian with a Y.
And then we also have our Hudson Oaks location, which is 2950 Fort Worth Highway, Suite 500. And the number is 817-770-0096. So give us a call. We'd love to help.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.